I had one video where I've grown 50,000 followers. I was like, what the hell is happening? Right? It is great. It's like a hit of the best drug you ever can possibly get your hands on.
So true.
That's how crazy it is, right? It's beautiful. People suddenly love you. People suddenly say, awesome. I'm like, holy shit. If I feed into this, one of two things will happen. Either I will like the fact that other people like me, or I will hate the fact that people hate me. And both of these things are emotional values attached to absolutely zero value.
Yeah.
It does nothing to my life. Suddenly, who has the opportunity to just be wild and free on the internet, first learning is that redeemed me. I was not bound by anything, right? I was playing me. I liked the version of me that I was waking up to every single day. I understood that deep focus is very important. I'd rather give things more time. Art takes its time, so I'll give it that time. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowing myself to be lazy. So the big two learnings in this phase of getting off the internet and not being so, oh my God, I have to put every day, I have to write. Instead of that, going, I want to grow, I want to grow, I want to be this, I want to be that. I moved from that into just
ridiculous hyper.
Ridiculous hyper, and I'm creating content nonstop. I'm growing. I mean, I had one video where I've grown 50,000 followers. I was like, what the hell is happening? Right? It is great. It's like a hit of the best drug you ever can possibly get your hands on.
So true.
That's how crazy it is, right? It's beautiful. People suddenly love you. People suddenly say, awesome. I'm like, holy shit. If I feed into this, one of two things will happen. Either I will like the fact that other people like me, or I will hate the fact that people hate me. And both of these things are emotional values attached to absolutely zero value.
Yeah.
It does nothing to my life.
So true.
It doesn't change me the way I wake up tomorrow if somebody double tapped on my post, versus it doesn't change my life when they say I suck. But the minute I give my value or emotional value to something that is positive, I am going to give emotional value to something that is negative. Right? So I said, I'll remove both. I don't want to take the praise, neither do I want to take the hate. I am me. Right? Hence, I found time outside of the internet to just be lazy. So I broke my life down into two parts. There is the deep focus Anto, and then there is the lazy Anto. So the deep focus Anto is going into 3-hour slots with utmost intent and focus. So I'm entering into, let's say, okay, I'm going into a conversation with Varun today. I want to prepare. I want to do a great job in this podcast. I'm also catching myself trying to prepare for being cool on this podcast. All of this kind of awareness is happening while I'm preparing for it in the deep focus time.
Yeah.
My lazy time allows me to be lazy because I feel like when human brain is doing nothing is when human brain has the opportunity to think and innovate and invent. If I'm preoccupied with a gazillion other things running in my mind, I'm carrying the stress from one world into the next world. Example, I wake up with a stress of sending out a copy for a post that I have to put out, which is not approved. I'm living with that not approved part of my day through the rest of the 15 meetings that I'm entering, always constantly checking if that thing is approved. Then I'm operating not in full presence, not being fully aware, and not being actually valuable to every single conversation I'm a part of. So deep focus allows me to be deeply in focus of that solution, come back into a lazy world, and lazy Anto has a ball of a time. Lazy Anto is cruising through life, he's sleeping, he's watching shows, he is like, oh my God, randomly scrolling on Instagram, liking, not liking, it's all of this didn't matter because lazy Anto can be whoever he wants to be. And doing nothing allows you to find a version of you that doing something can never be able to find.
That's so true. That's so true.
Right.
Because we try to pack our lives with so much all the time. And I know I'm a major guilty party on that front. Right? For me, I've taken the term Enthu cutlet and just kind of given it a little bit more nos in that sense. And I feel that most times I run like the Duracell bunny and I crash. Right. And I get up again and I run again is how I function. But those pauses are so important, and I feel that remote working and other working from home has taught me that. It is that even if you have like 10 meetings in a day, make sure you have like, I mean, I do what you're saying in a smaller say. Lazy Varun comes in with 10-minute, 15-minute gaps between meetings where I'm doing absolutely nothing, right? I'm just going to be just like, I'm just going to be this person who's just chilling and then kind of get back into it. But what you're saying is actually a very interesting remedy for what I feel is one of the biggest problems we have, right? As human beings, is that because we are now have such this is ample in like access to so many things to do as well as to consume, the need is to constantly keep doing something. And I read somewhere and I found that very interesting, is that we have lost the ability to be bored.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I feel that's so important.
Bored.
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I was bored.
Yeah. And being bored takes you to a place that, knowing everything will never take you to, which is what I always am excited about. Most of my ideas of what I practice in my professional life comes from doing nothing. But also at the same time, I say it very lightly. I don't get the time to do nothing. It is a very conscious decision to go into a world of doing nothing, because I operate as a hyperactive maniac, right? I want to keep doing things. I want to keep breaking boundaries. I want to push myself to be waking up every day and actually invent something. I always go back to my team, and I'm sitting in an office today. I always go back to my team and I tell my team, guys, there's only one job that we have. And that job is to invent. You're not hired as a engineer, doctor, scientist, data analyst, festival producer. All that is secondary roles. Do whatever you want to do with those roles. As long as we're inventors in this space, we have won. And inventing always comes from a place of, like, Jova, who's one of my dear friends who runs the Artidote, says, there are things you know. There are things you don't know. And there are things you don't know.
That's true. I think the last one is the most dangerous part.
Exactly. Right. And to enter the world of you don't know, you have to be bored. You have to do nothing. You have to put yourself in places that allows you to invent, right? You have to be able to find the balance between hyperactive maniacery versus absolute laziness. What I mean by laziness, not wasting time, is to be able to give your mind the space to think by doing nothing. And we very rarely do that. And I think that's the opportunity that we have as a generation.